One. What's up, Spikes? Jim here, coming at you from the Spike Feeder studio here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's snowy outside. Nobody should be outside anyway, so it shouldn't even matter that it's snowy outside. But we are here inside, nice and warm. I got Bill with me, and we have a special guest, Miss TappyToeClaws. That's you.
Yes, that is me. I've been told several times that that's me. Actually, I'm glad to know that I'm glad it's consistent, right?
Yes.
Children need consistency in this troubling time, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
And up until now, it has not been incorrect. It is still not incorrect, but the future can hold really anything. There's an endless amount of possibilities. You could just not be Tappy in 20 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Anything could happen.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, TappyToeClaws is an awesome person all around, but she also streams at twitch.tv/TappyToeClaws. She does coverage. What else do you do? Give me a rundown.
I do a little bit of everything. I'm kind of a Renaissance dinosaur. I do a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm being extremely rude. I told the guys this earlier before we left, but I started up a brawl game while we were waiting, and I'm playing my Ashiok Mill deck because I like a challenge. And this Kaikar player decided to preemptively GG me when they played Midnight Clock, thinking that Ashiok apparently doesn't exile their graveyard, which it definitely does. So now I just have to win this game, like because normally I would just concede, because that's the nice thing to do when you go on stream with your friends. But now it's like really important to me that I have to beat this person.
No,
but I'm still here. I can multitask.
It's for your feelings.
I want everybody. Yeah, I want everybody in chat to donate your spirit energy to Tappy in this match.
Yeah. So I'm having a good time though. Yeah, I do a little bit of streaming. I do a little bit of recently I've gotten into doing some crazy altars because I got these really fun paint pens. I drink a lot of coffee. I make some interesting choices, and yeah, that's basically Tappy life.
Cool. So Bill and I are gonna hop in, and then once Tappy's done with her match, she's also gonna hop in with some hot takes. Apparently, I don't know.
Well, I can definitely respond with some hot takes. I do need to probably refill my coffee at some point. I don't mind roping this opponent because they preemptively GG'd me. So.
Do you cosplay?
Of course.
Oh yeah, I do that too. I guess that's. I mean, I've got Relzeric in the back. That's how I got that. So.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't give those just to anybody. You have to make that costume in a month for them to give you a card.
Okay, so
right.
Why don't we get started? Bill, what's the first card?
First card is going to be Brokos, Apex of Forever, BROKKOS.
KKOS. Let's see
the alternate card is Bio Quartz Space Godzilla,
which I have to say has to be the best name from this set, right?
I would anytime you can take the word Godzilla and put space onto it, it's you're making a glam rocker gets their wings. Yeah. Like, right?
It's kind of like how when regular creatures turn into legendary creatures, you're not a goblin, you're like the goblin. With this one, you're not like a Godzilla, you're like the space Godzilla, you know?
Yeah.
It's got that extra
you're not just any old
modifier.
Space Godzilla.
Brokos.
Okay, so this one.
Brokos is a Sultai legend. It's a legendary creature, Nightmare Beast Elemental. It's a 6/6 with trample. And you may cast it from your graveyard using its mutate ability. Its mutate ability costs 2, a dimmer hybrid, and 2 green. Bill, what do you think of this?
I think this card's absurd. It is really difficult to deal with and just turns realistically anything into a 6/6 trampler. Like you have a 1/1 token, a non-human token in play, and you mutate this from your graveyard onto it, and for 5 mana you've made a 6/6 trampler that I believe doesn't have summoning sickness because it's still the same creature that it was before, as long as the first creature didn't have summoning sickness. Anyway, I think that this is great for just like a go-long control Sultai deck.
Yeah, chat's confirming that you're correct, so you got a good gut feeling on that one. Both of the alternate arts are ridiculously awesome. I'm loving the comic book style art on these ones. It kind of looks like it could be on a movie poster.
I really like the comic book art.
Yeah, this is the.
It's very, very well done.
This is the comic book art.
Is it the same artist who did the 5-color Legends Secret Lair stuff? I think it is.
It looks like it. It looks like the same art style.
Yeah, because I think that artist, when they were talking about it, that was one of the kind of like styles they were going for when they worked with that artist.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, Mink is mentioning if there's a mutate deck in Commander, it'll probably be Brokos. Yeah, that's consistent with what I was saying yesterday. That it's for sure going to be Sultai. Like from everything I've seen so far, it's going to be Sultai, which is a shame because of this Mardu legend is sweet too.
The unfortunate thing in terms of getting ranched by Sultai mutate is going to be the fact that if you mutate this onto a token, that token now deals commander damage. So you can just you can just put it on random stuff. A really spicy interaction that I thought of yesterday, or that I saw on Reddit yesterday and then took credit for, is that it'll come out naturally, but just while I'm thinking of it, Skullbriar retains counters, and there are now counters that grant abilities.
Yeah. So those counters never go away.
Yeah, so it just always has flying, it always has menace, it always has death touch. Like whatever.
That's
kind
really
of sick.
dope. That's really dope. Also, when you're playing in Sultai, you can just like mutate it onto a Slippery Bogles. And
or All Hail Bolus in chat says onto Invisible Stalker.
Yeah, Invisible Stalker is a great choice. Yeah, there's like so many cool. Oh, TappyToeClaws.
I was gonna say you should be getting a host.
Thank you for the host. Okay.
Thank you very much.
What's the next card?
Next card that we're going to be talking about today.
I lost my game, by the way, but they did have to kill me. So.
Damn.
That's all.
Sorry, there are some on Scryfall that don't have the English names yet. The next
I'm
one is
gonna go quick grab
Kogla.
myself some more coffee, but I will be back in a second.
Sounds good. What's it called?
Invisible Stalker is a human. That's bad. Kogla, Kogla.
Kogla. That's a weird name. Hey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Really
is it
weird.
What is it? CAW?
What? Kogla.
Kogla. Not KAWGLA. What I typed. Okay,
Yeah,
Kogla. Type Nate. Oh yeah, this is King Kong, right? This is
King Kong.
Really
just
dope.
King Kong.
I'm so excited about this one. Andrew from our Discord messaged me this morning saying this is the card that he's the most excited about, which makes sense because it's green.
So this one, 3 triple green. When this enters the battlefield, legendary creature Ape, and it's a 7/6. When this enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control, and whenever this attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. And for 1 and a green, you can return target human you control to its owner's hand, and Kogla gains indestructible until end of turn. Notably, the return is not part of the cost, so even if you don't have, or I guess you would need a target for that.
Yeah, so this is what Andrew asked me this morning. He said, is this like Temur Sabertooth? Like if the human is not around when the ability goes to resolve, what happens? And I said, well, because it targets, if the target is no longer viable as the ability attempts to resolve, it will fizzle. So
okay, so you need to have a human in order to give him indestructible.
Yes, yeah, it does have to target.
Yeah.
But it is really cool. It's a 7/6 for 6 with some pretty big upside. Pops things
most
when it
of the
attacks.
time. It's like it's a 6-mana 7/6 with ETB murder, and then also
and then attack upside.
There's seems fine.
Yeah,
there's like nothing wrong with this card. It's maybe a little bit fat, but like it just does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if I feel like the text on the return target human might see a lot more like play in limited than constructed, because it seems like most of the human cards all want to go together. Most of the monster cards all want to go together.
Yeah.
But I think humans are mostly in green white from what I've seen. But again, that's not looks like a lot of the human anthem-y ones.
Yeah.
Or no, the human commander is Marty, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is weird because her art is very green and it's kind of psyching me out.
Yeah.
But I like that this is basically just King Kong. This is cool. I like the little floating kind of steampunk balloon stuff in the background too.
Yeah, because I guess they don't have the double wing airplanes, which they probably would have if they existed on this plane. But on this
we have does this one have the alternate art? Is this just King Kong?
No, I just checked. It is just the one. Unless it's not on Scryfall yet.
Yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, I think from what I understand about the whole way that like the Godzilla cards work is that WotC actually reached out to Toho to like get the rights to do this, obviously, because they're using the names of the properties. And King Kong is obviously not a Toho property.
Right.
So I think it's like it seems on theme. They're probably just doing it and assuming that people will just get it, which obviously all of us are. Like we're talking about it, right? So it's working, but they would have had to go to who knows what studio like company actually owns the rights to King Kong, or I don't know if it's public domain by now, but either way, it's probably just a mess.
Like maybe they could probably just go to The Rock and ask him if they could use Rampage. You know, that's what we did for our background.
I feel like I'm sure The Rock would be like, yeah, that's cool.
It's
that's
totally
dope.
cool.
I'm The
Yeah.
Rock. Like that sounds good to me.
Okay, what do we got for the next card?
All right. Next one we're going to be talking about is Labyrinth Raptor.
Labyrinth Raptor. Now, Tappy, what do
that
you
was
think
my
of this
nickname
card?
in college. Not really.
What do you think, Tappy?
I like it. It's cool. It's fun. Labyrinth Raptor. I looked it up, but we're gonna double check. Do we know how many other things in this set even have menace?
Well, so one of the things, menace counters are a thing.
Yeah, menace counters exist now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Especially since I like the combination. I don't think we've ever seen the combination of menace with this like blocking, this sacrificing thing. It's a cool way to obviously use menace. You're already doing what you want to be doing, right? Like you're forcing them to expend that many more resources by doing this. I do like the fact that it has 2 sets of arms. That's pretty dope. There's a lot going on in this art, so if anybody missed that, I'd like everyone to know that it's definitely got 2 sets of arms and 2 tails.
Yeah, double. It's twice as swole. So something that I think is interesting about this is I think it'll probably be really good in standard because multiples of this are insane. If you have 2 of these in play and you attack with one of them, your opponent has to block with 2 creatures and then sacrifices both.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's like it's not great. It's like fine on its own. There's nothing inherently terrible about this card. But in multiples, I think it really goes off. So when you have access to 4 of them, your deck just becomes hard to block.
It is exactly at the right point on the curve too. Like a 2/2 for 2 with all that text that goes. Especially too, if you slap this and Mayhem Devil are gonna be best friends.
Oh boy, that's gonna be so good. I'm really into that.
I mean, you play like if you think about it this way, like you play. I don't know what's a 1-drop in the Rakdos, the Sakdos deck. Does it really run that many? The cat, maybe, I guess.
We don't play standard.
So
yeah, I don't play standard.
I mean, I don't really either, but I don't really play much standard, but I've been watching a lot of it because I've been commentating on some of the CFB stuff, and the Rakdos deck is like the deck to beat kind of right now. That's the deck that a lot of people are playing. A lot of people better than me are playing this Rakdos deck, so it's probably pretty good.
That's fair. But CFB doesn't ask them to commentate on on Magic matches.
I didn't. To be fair, that was a very big surprise for me. I was like, "You want me to what?"
It was sick. That was very entertaining. Okay, what's the next card?
It's been really fun though. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
next card is going to be
really fun.
Next card is going to be Colossification.
Oh yeah. 1L Colossification.
COLOSSIFICATEION.
Right. Hang on. It's not loading. There it is. Big ol' kitty.
This is
make large.
Excruciatingly large.
Big.
No, Google, not colossal fixation.
I don't think that there's a whole lot to say about this.
We don't judge.
It's 7 mana, give +20/+20.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
I'm very, very tempted to. Oh, sorry, 1 second.
That's Bill's cat, I think.
No worries.
I'm just going to talk through it since you've explained exactly what it is. And he's leaving anyway, so it's fine. I'm very tempted to put this into Selvala Brostorm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do it.
It's like not the best thing that you can do, but it's sweet. And that's all that matters, really.
I think that's exactly what this card is, though. This card is going to make the people who like this kind of card are really excited about it.
Yep.
And people who don't even want to have to know what the combat step is, like me, think it's fine. Like, I'm glad that other people are happy. I'm never gonna play this card. Maybe I'll play it in limited once and get blown out and then say it's the worst card ever. That's probably exactly what's gonna happen.
I think if you were to make up an email mailing list of all of the people that play with that giant hammer equipment, the one that gives like
it's
plus
the
10
same
plus 10,
people.
it's
The Venn diagram.
yeah, the Venn diagram's in a circle.
I can see
yeah.
it's already doing it.
Okay, so I don't think we have to say a lot about that one.
It is make large, and I like it a lot because it's a large cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up next?
The next thing I'm going to talk about, it's just because it's a cycle that's been revealed, but the next one's going to be Zagoth Crystal, Zagoth. And it's a cycle of Cygnets, or I guess
For like manoliths.
banners.
Yeah.
That cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these are fine.
It's yeah. I'm not a huge fan of 3-mana mana rocks, but as far as 3-mana mana rocks go, this is fine.
Yeah, they're okay.
I think it's really cool. I like where we're kind of going for limited with these choices. And also, I completely subscribe to the Ben Stark method of evergreen mechanics, and that cycling is just the best one. Like cycling should be evergreen. It's so good. So I'm always happy when I see cycling because it means limited probably isn't going to suck.
Yeah.
I don't think that cycling has ever been in a space where it's like overpowered or feels like it's choking out anything. Like it just, you're making the choice between drawing a card for 2 mana, for the most part, with some exceptions, or using the card as intended. And I don't think that that's bad. That doesn't it makes things just a touch more consistent, and I think it raises the floor on how good a limited deck can be. Because you don't necessarily have to make all the right decisions. If you can't cast something right now, but you can cycle it, then it's still fine. Like you don't have that much opportunity cost.
This is also I think a prime set where people are going to be wanting to splash for that dumb enchantment, right? Or that 3-color dumb thing. I keep playing Theros limited right now on Arena, and I always find a random Hydra's growth, and I'm like, what if I put this in my deck and we just play it, and that's our win condition. And this is exactly the card that would make that choice a good one versus just the dumb meme thing that I'm doing for stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these are a full cycle.
I think there's maybe some, I kind of want to see, it's not going to go in any of my artifact decks, but so this whole Zagoth Crystal thing, is there one for each color set, or is it just the one?
It's each wedge.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, for Mardu, for Jeskai, all the other ones.
I kind of want to see if somebody can't make this work with Emery, because if you're cycling these, you're pitching them into your yard, and then you're being able to recast them if you have any kind of artifact cost reducers. So you could potentially just be cycling these into your graveyard and playing them and replaying them. And I mean, you can't sacrifice them when they're on the field, but I guess you'd have to have some, I don't know. KCI goes infinite with everything. But I like nothing more than the idea of playing Emery and just playing a whole bunch of these, chucking them all into the yard and then replaying them and putting them back in the yard and just making infinite mana with some dumb thing. Emery plus KCI plus all these dumb things. Obviously, nobody would have come up with it themselves.
No, Emery and KCI, no.
Who knows? KCI is a dumb card.
Okay, what do we got next?
So the next one will be Auspicious Starix.
There we go.
This one, I think I really like it.
This is a 5-mana 6/6. It's got Mutate for 5 and a green. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Put those permanent cards onto the battlefield. So it's kind of like a repeatable Genesis wave, which is kind of cool. And it snowballs, Yeah,
it snowballs. And the thing that I think is interesting, if I'm understanding the mutate mechanic correctly, is if you do this after you've put a couple mutations onto something, it does, it remembers the number, because it now is that creature. So if you already have 2 or 3 on a creature and then you top deck this, you get to play this and Genesis Wave for 5 mana, or for 6 mana rather.
Yep.
And yeah, I like it. The fact that it can hit lands means that you don't just run away with it. But I mean,
okay
even if you're using it as
I'm okay.
Yeah, if you hit a rampant growth plus, fine.
If you're doing this for 2 and you get 2 lands, it's fine. Especially if you have lower CMC ways to mutate. Seems good.
Yeah, I like this card a lot.
I'm
Yeah.
always excited too. Again, I'm the EDH player who like doesn't want to have to learn what the combat step is because I don't much care for it. But I'm always excited to see like fun text that lets like players who do want to like put that onto a creature, because it kind of makes like what their deck is doing, which is maybe arguably worse than what my deck is trying to do. It makes that better, right? Because everything that they're doing that casts them something that does something for them still has like a body onto it at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm always excited to see what text they're going to put on all these creatures.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one though. I think it's very good.
Cool. What's next?
So there are a couple that I'm just pulling up now off of Reddit because they don't look like they're on Scryfall yet, but I can't. There we go.
Just take it from Reddit and say it's ours. That's what Reddit does to everybody else anyway.
So I'm just gonna pick a couple here just that are interesting because there are some commons that have been revealed and they're just pretty medium. So there's one here called Mythos of Snapbacks. And
yeah,
a full cycle of Mythos cards. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull these up on Scryfall.
Yeah, it's not on Scryfall yet.
We're just going to have to talk about them, unfortunately. So Mythos of Snapbacks is a sorcery for 2 white. And it says each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. If black-red was spent to cast this spell, you choose the permanents for each player instead.
Ooh. So it's kind of like a mix between Cataclysm and the other one, Tragic Arrogance.
Yeah, I really like this whole cycle.
That's really cool.
I think it's really neat. If you're able to do like the really restrictive mana requirement, it has huge upside.
Well, I love that they somehow managed to strike like absolute gold in between like making these playable in limited and potentially standard, and then also just like making them perfect for EDH, right? Because we want dumb things that are probably in 3 colors.
Yep.
Like every Marchesa player suddenly just like got excited about this card, right?
Yeah.
The best part is the art, unfortunately. It is by Seb McKinnon.
Oof, it's so good.
We can't pull it up right now, unfortunately.
We can't.
Look it up. It's not too hard.
Is it on Reddit?
Snapbacks is actually one of the easier names in this set to spell, so you can probably find it.
Yeah. Anyway, just the way that we have our capture set up is like it makes it a little awkward.
So can I go a little bit off topic for a second? I know you guys probably brought me on here because I'm always like super professional and I've never made a rambly tangent in my whole life.
As long as you're good with me.
Tell someone, and
as long as you're good with
I have to tell someone,
it.
and it might as well be your viewers. So all these names like Snapbacks and like Brokos, the only thing I think of is that scene in like the first season of Game of Thrones where Viserys is in the tub with one of Daenerys's like handmaidens, and he's doing this like really awkward, like not sexy at all, but like obviously it was supposed to be sexual naming of all the like Targaryen dragons. And like all I can think of, and now all of you can think of, is that scene and like all of these names.
Yeah,
you're all welcome.
You know, this morning I was saying to myself, Bill, you know what our stream chronically lacks is visuals of middle-aged naked bald men.
Yeah,
I think we haven't had.
He had hair at this point. He had his like white Targaryen hair.
Oh,
I guess he did.
Right.
But
Viserys. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Viserys. Sorry. Viserys, not Varys.
Yeah.
I know they're all fantasy names, right? So they all sound the same.
I gotcha. Daenerys' brother.
Yeah, Daenerys' brother before he gets melted. But anyway, you're welcome.
Whoa, spoilers.
Boyazy in chat. The BR is in addition to the two, or not in addition to, but if you pay BR white like you said,
with the color cost.
Right.
And it's like that for the whole Mythos cycle so far.
Yeah. I really like the Mythos cycles. It's pretty dope.
That seems sweet.
So the next one we're going to talk about has
McKinnon. I think it's all Seb McKinnon art too, right?
I think
he did all the art for all of those.
Mythoses.
Mythos.
Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is a legendary creature. His name is Shevil, Bane of Monsters. And he's Golgari. He's black-green for a 1/3 legendary creature human rogue with Death Touch. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card.
Now, doesn't one of the Marchesas deal with bounty counters? Something deals with bounty counters.
Mardu dude.
It
And
was
I
the
think it's-
Mardu. He was in the Edgar Markov deck.
Yes. Yeah. Mathis, Fiend Hunter.
Yeah, Mathis.
Yeah.
I was like Matthias. No,
That's kind of
Mathis,
cool.
yeah.
I like it when
So-
they do callbacks to like old types of counters because of
Yeah, other
interactions like
counter
this.
types.
Like I love it when, because like if they released something in this set that used feather counters, I would lose my mind because I have a deck that uses feather counters, and like I like it when they use them differently. Yeah, I like it when they use them differently though, so that you can get like a little bit of overlap of functionality like that.
Mhm.
But this is a different. Well, let me pull up Mathis and we'll see what Mathis does with bounty counters. Whenever
Chat's also reminding us that there is an old black card called Bounty Hunter that also has bounty counters. Bounty counters.
That's kind of
cool. Or maybe Royal Assassin. Was there something from one of the conspiracies that had it?
Royal Assassin doesn't do bounty counters. That's just tap destroy tap creature. Yeah, but but Bounty Hunter is cool. I've never heard of that card.
So the real question is this just Joe Exotic?
Is it Joe Exotic?
I think 100% yes.
Yeah.
Either this or the new Planeswalker. One of them is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like if something doesn't have, you know, a mullet that you would be proud to airbrush onto the side of a van, it's not going to be Joe Exotic. You should be proud.
I mean,
of
this is close. This is close.
So, anyway, I didn't quite hear everything you said when you were talking about Shovel, but is it the same effect that when a creature with a bounty counter on it dies?
It's not quite the same. It is an effect on the guy himself, and it's whenever a creature an opponent controls with a bounty hunter or bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card, and it's just you.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. So in multiplayer games, you don't feed other people.
That's kind of cool.
Claiming the bounty.
I almost would like this more if I could put bounty counters on my own stuff, because this could go straight into Corvold and be really busted and super dumb.
You could play it like as an Aristocrats build. That would be neat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because I just want to sack all my dumb stuff to Corvold anyway, and then scape shift and give him like +20, and then draw all my cards.
Real talk though.
If I can find a way to draw my whole deck in any colors, I will.
Real talk though. That's actually why we invited you onto the stream. Because of degenerate stuff like that.
Okay. I have a very interesting one up next for us to talk about, and I'm incredibly excited about this card. I think this is going to be sweet. I'm going to try to pick up a foil one at the soonest possibility that I can, but it's Fiend Artisan.
Oh,
It is a 2-mana creature for 2 hybrid Golgari, so black-green and black-green. It is a creature nightmare. It's a 1/1. This gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, and it has X and then hybrid Golgari. Tap, sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, and put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only at any time you could cast a sorcery. So it's like a mix between Birthing Pod and Green Sun Zenith, in addition to just a body that gets bigger the more that you do it.
Yeah.
Well, little bit of Tarmogoyf, little bit of Birthing Pod.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything. It's not even legendary.
It's
like,
a
I think this
2-drop
card is nuts
with hybrid mana in its cost because we wanted to make
this
it
is a
mono black
easier
card.
to cast.
It's got some really dope art in it too.
Yeah. This card's insane. Like
I've been really excited about most of the art in this whole set. Like there have been a few that have been just kind of for me, but like on the whole, this has been really, really cool creature designs and stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm super into this card. It does like everything that I've ever wanted a card to do. I wish this could be my commander.
Or your companion.
Yeah, if I could companion a Birthing Pod for 2 mana.
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, I think it goes without saying that card is going to make some waves somewhere. Probably Modern, honestly. Like, I don't know if Modern's too fast for this now, but even just at it being a 2 mana, like 9/9, has to be good somewhere. Right?
I mean, I feel like Jun's probably gonna play around with it, like, right? Like Jun loves all these different options of using it for whatever, or just turning it into a creature and making it big and turning it sideways. I know quite little about Modern other than the fact that Jund is the deck, but these are the colors, so
I think that this would find a place somewhere. Again, it's also mono black. Like it's mono black and mono green technically.
Yeah.
So it just fits everywhere. This card is so weird. But JPSS 92400, I would play this in Birthing Pod, even though I don't play Birthing Pod, or in Blood Pod, sorry. I would absolutely play this in Blood Pod. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, and again, we were just talking about Corvold. It seems perfect for Corvold.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing
good in
things.
Corvold.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can pay 4 and get your Mayhem Devil into play. Like it has no color restriction either.
Yep.
I think it's gross.
It seems very, 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 very good.
This seems pretty solid.
Yeah. Anyway, to keep this on a brisk pace, we have our next one, which is Yidaro, Wandering Monster.
That one's not on Scryfall yet either?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But it is a 7-mana 8/8. It's red, so it's 5 red for an 8/8 legendary creature dinosaur turtle with trample and haste and cycling 1 in a red.
Oh yeah, this is the turtle with haste.
Yeah. The other the ability here is when you cycle this card, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you've cycled a card named Yidaro Wandering Monster 4 or more times this game, put it onto the battlefield from your graveyard instead. So
is
if
this
you
a mythic?
cycle, like, it is a rare.
It's a rare. Like, usually they don't tack on abilities that require you to, like, keep track of your turtle count, you know? Like, past game actions, they kind of tend to shy away from those. So I'm kind of surprised to see it on a rare.
Yeah.
I think that this card is really funny because it's 1 in a red, draw a card until you've done it 4 times, and then it becomes 1 in a red, or it becomes 1 in a red 8/8 trample haste.
Yeah.
Which also draws a card like that, and also can't be countered. This card's really cool.
You've heard of the storm count. Now wait for
the turtle count.
It is legendary.
Yeah, it's got to be a standard deck. That's insane.
But
and cycling for 1 in a red is like fine to begin with. It's not even like it's an overcosted cycling rate. It's just like get to cantrip in the early game and then just stick some beaters and donk. So
yeah, I think that this card is potentially very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have Augmaniac in the chat who's been like itching and clawing for us to talk about this card.
Is it the new hate bear?
Yeah. So Granith Magistrate.
Ooh, boy.
Oh yeah.
It's 1 in a white for a 1/3 creature human wizard. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. So this hoses casting things from the graveyard, casting things from your library, although I don't know if there's a card that allows you to cast from your library, except for like cards that allow you to play the top card of your library.
Yeah. So like Panglacial Worm, Future Sight, Bolas' Citadel.
Have 2 ends?
Yes.
Yeah. There we
are. From Command Zone, from Exile. So yeah, it hoses Food Chain. It hoses Commanders.
Yep, Elsha.
It does hose Elsha.
Wow, yeah, I didn't see the commander call on that. That's actually like
it hoses Companions.
It stops Food Chain.
Yep.
Like not Food Chain, but it stops the creatures that you would want to feed into Food Chain. It does hose Isochron Scepter. No, it doesn't, because you make a copy first, then you cast it. I don't know where the copy exists on Isochron Scepter. I'm gonna pull up that. Let me see.
I think you exile it. Do you exile it attached?
No. Well, you exile the card, but you don't cast the card that's imprinted. You copy the exile.
But you
card,
do cast it though. Like
you cast the copy.
Let me see. I'm looking up the text right now. Imprint. When Isochron Scepter ends the battlefield, you may exile an instant card with converted mana cost 2 or less. You may copy the exiled card. When you do, you cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
Yeah. And it says you can't cast spells, not cards.
Yeah. So
Well, I would say
we would have Scryfall up, except it's not on Scryfall yet.
Yeah. So I would say the key here is that the copy does not exist in your hand, so you can't cast it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's very specific. It very specifically says like you can't cast in your hand. And the copy is definitely not in your hand. It's probably in exile. I don't know where the copy exists.
It is in exile. You exile the instant card with
converted but you create a copy and then you cast the copy. You don't cast the exiled card.
Yeah.
But anyway, either way, it's not in your hand, so it doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this bear is very good and possibly fits in a car.
It does. I wish it was a 3/1 instead of a 1/3, but I guess you can't win all your battles, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm like into it. They're printing like one really bonkers hate bear per set right now, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like Minxterella though is saying if a commander deck can't kill a 1/3, it probably should just lose. Like, which is maybe just true. Like, if a 1/3 shuts down your whole commander deck, you maybe just like should rethink some things.
Yeah. I don't know. Every once in a while, you get like a few decks that just can't deal with it, or like maybe their removals on their commander or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
That might be.
Oh no, I totally get it, but I think I think this card's fun. Like, as somebody who generally is not like the white control player at the table, like I think this is fine.
Yeah.
I've got lightning bolts in my deck, so
yeah. I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm really
it's fun.
Really into it. Anything else?
We
have 15
there
minutes.
Are probably 2 more things that I should talk about here. So there's one here, General Kudrow of Dranith. I haven't actually seen this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was revealed while we were talking. It's a 3-mana 3/3. It's 1 white-black for a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier. Other humans you control get +1/+1. And whenever this or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. 2 colorless, sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Card for sure. I don't think I'm ever gonna play this card, but
yeah, it's hard not to love. I'm really glad it's not in Abzan. I'm really glad it can go into all the dumb aristocrats decks. Like, it's just Orzhov, which is nice. Again, like, I like the crystal art, but it's really freaking me out that all the crystal people from the crystal cities have green crystals on them, and most of them are not green. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I think that might get more people than not, honestly. I mean, it's definitely gotten me like several times. Like, I've looked at all these cards and been like, wow, humans are like very green in this set about monsters, but
yeah,
they're not.
I wonder if there's going to be any lore around that. Like, anybody know what is going on with the lore for this set? Are they actually doing novels, or are they doing?
Yes, actually, I watched the WotC stream. Django Wexler, who is the author who wrote The Gathering Storm, so that's the prequel to the War of the Spark stuff. And The Gathering Storm is actually very good. I read all of The Gathering Storm. I don't know where you can find it now, unfortunately. Only at this point, who knows where it is. But it was very good, I promise you. We're getting an ebook. It's called, I don't remember, but it's got Vivian and the new Planeswalker guy, the Boros guy, the tiger guy.
Oh yeah,
on it.
Yeah, got a bunch of K's in his name.
Yeah, this has been Lore with Tappy. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So White Ravenlord says that the crystals are a warning system for a monster attack, so they're kind of like Hobbit Sting kind of a situation.
Yeah, well, and obviously, like, you get the idea that there's probably, like, just from looking at the cards that we've seen, there's probably, like, a few bastions of, like, civilized life, and they're probably, they've all got the crystals, and then we've got, like, the Mythos cards that all show, like, kind of cave-style paintings of the big 5 creatures, like, coming in to kill the cities with the people in it.
Yeah.
So, and Narset's here. Also, we know that. I think Narset is our other Planeswalker.
Ooh.
I don't know if we've seen a Planeswalker card of her, but we've seen a few cards with Narset on them.
I'm pretty into it not being the Gatewatch. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, totally. Vivian's a cool card. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't know why Narset's here.
Oh, there's a city that exists under a shelf of lava that uses said lava to create a flaming barrier to prevent monsters from getting in. This looks like pretty dope. I'm kind of glad that they do have a magic story because this plane seems sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Vivian's?
Look, and I think part of the reason why War of the Spark was bad, in addition to all of the other reasons, was that you had like 60 characters that you had to talk about. So like you could really only like give any kind of amount of like care for like 2 of them. And the story wanted us to care about Jason, just like nobody did. Like nobody does. But like that's part of the reason why the Gathering Storm is a lot better, because like you just get to hang around like Ral and Vraska, and like you actually like those characters.
Yeah.
So Vivian is not from Ikoria. We don't know where she's. Scala. She's from Scala, and we've never been there. It's a plane that got destroyed by Bolas.
Yeah.
So she's like after Bolas for that reason, and now that Bolas is gone, she's in her Joan Jett phase of life, I suppose.
We got anything else, Ben?
Yeah, actually, there are a few more that evaded my grasp as I was trying to pull some from Reddit again. There is another legendary, I guess, like wedge beast thingy dinosaur. Nethroi, Apex of Death.
This is the Golgari-ish one, right? No?
It's the junk one, the Abzan one.
Yeah.
So it's
Nethroi is not up on
white,
Skyfall, but
black, green.
Mythos of Nethroi is
the
up.
Mythos there. We can actually talk about that. That was going to be the next card, but since we have it up, we might as well talk about
God,
it.
Seb McKinnon is just like
just insane.
killing it.
Yep.
Killing it.
But yeah, so Mythos of Nethroi, 2 and a black, instant, destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if green-white was spent to cast this spell. So it is a not quite Vindicate, because Vindicate can destroy lands, but it is a Vindicate, or it is destroy target creature.
Yeah.
So it's like a murder or kind of Vindicate. I think the flexibility is kind of nice.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think this card's really good. It's not quite Maelstrom Pulse, but almost there. I think this card's good.
I think it's fine.
I don't think there's a whole lot to say about it. It's not very complicated, but I think it's good.
No. Yeah. Again, classic example of like something that like this is going to be like fantastic and limited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This thing is like this is
just going to be great.
Yeah. This is
especially because it does like even for like 2 and a black, it does exactly what you want anyway. Like limited's mostly based around creatures. Like every once in a while you're going to get blown out by an enchantment, but like most of the time you just want to kill some big dumb stupid dude that's going to kill you.
Yeah, and I think in limited the cool part is, and again with all of these Mythos cards, is that you can just play them at their baseline if you're in a mono black or a non-Abzan deck, or if you're in an Abzan deck, it just becomes insane. It's awesome, Abzan deck. But then it's like baseline is still quite good.
Yeah, right. Killing a creature for 3 at instant speed is always going to be good. Turns out
for only 1 black too. So it is an upgrade from murder just in that.
For sure. Yeah.
So then we'll talk about the man himself. The point of the Mythos, Nethroi, Apex of Death. So it's 2 white, black, green for a 5/5 legendary creature, Cat Nightmare Beast, with Mutate 4 hybrid Selesnya black, with Death Touch and Lifelink. And whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creatures with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Oh boy, it's like a oh boy.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Because you just get to return a bunch of stuff, and then you like mutate a cheap thing onto it, and you get to do it again.
Yeah, it's like reverse Protean Hulk. Chat's drawing the Protean Hulk parallels.
I would actually argue that this card is way in the situation where you're able to get off Protean Hulk versus Nethroi, in terms of like just straight value at this point in time, I would say that Nethroi is actually kind of better, because a lot of the creatures that you want to get have high CMC but low power. Like Body Double is a 5 mana 0/0. You just get that back for free with this guy.
Yeah, Nethroi can be your commander too. That's a good point.
Nethroi can be your commander. Yeah. So obviously I'm not saying that he's like more broken than Protean Hulk in any capacity. But I think that you can, if you're looking to use in the use case where Protean Hulk is a value card, I think that this is a better value card.
Yeah.
And also, you can repeat Mutate without having to like recur the Protean Hulk back from your graveyard and sacrifice it again. Like this doesn't need to die. This just needs to mutate.
Yep.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Ooh, sorry, I'm doing a yawn. I stayed up super, super late last night for no reason whatsoever. Stardew Valley was the reason, actually.
Well, that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, Stardew Valley.
Then there's one more that I can see that I want to talk about, and then I'll probably have to get going from my meeting again.
Exactly.
Totally fair.
But this one is a big dumb idiot, and I like it. It is called Quartz Forest Crusher. It is 2 red green for a 6/6 creature dinosaur beast with trample. And whenever 1 or more creatures you control with trample deal combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast with trample, where X is the damage dealt to that player.
Is this mono green? Did you say?
No, it's red
2
green. Red green.
Oh boy, I was gonna say, like, if you could play this in a Grothama deck, it would be crazy. Could you imagine everything dealing damage to Grothama and then like just making a whole bunch of dinos?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
When creatures with trample deal combat damage to a player.
Does Grothama have trample?
I believe Grothama has trample. But yeah, I think that this is great. This is going straight into my Geared deck because you make 4/4s with trample all the time. So you just keep making things with trample that deal more trample damage, that make more things with trample. Like I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm always excited to get more Naya Wedge dinos because this is going right into Gishath.
Yeah.
Gishath is my
only.
Gishath is like my only dumb snappy like creature deck because it's like dinosaur. So obviously, you know, hashtag on brand.
Yeah, Elliot's at work right now, but he's probably crying that he can't talk about this.
That he can't just like fangirl over this card.
Yeah.
Over this giant stompy boy.
Yep.
Okay. There is also another card that White Ravenlord, or I think what was it? No, Haka was talking about, the super trample guy. It's like a 4-mana 4/3 that gives your creatures with trample Thorn Elemental. So you can assign them as long as though they weren't blocked.
Okay.
I didn't want to talk about it because it just kind of seems pretty medium. Like it's a game ender if you're winning already.
Sure.
But a lot
Thorn
of Elemental.
Yeah,
Thorn Elemental like isn't really a good card to begin with. So
yeah, there's the card that I'm the most excited about for sure, I think, that I've seen so far is the sorcery that we've seen with Narset on it. Where it's like you discard X cards and deal that much damage and draw that many cards.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wherever that's going right into my Niv Mizzet deck. Like I am extremely excited about that.
It's called
card.
Channeled Force.
Yes.
2 blue-red for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this, discard X. Target player draws X cards. This deals X damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
so here for it.
Yeah. So it doesn't hit face, but it's kind of like expansion.
It does if you have a Niv Mizzet out to ping with all those card draw triggers.
That's true.
Yep.
Or 4 Niv Mizzets in the case of my deck usually. So no, I'm super excited for this card. This is probably the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Okay, so we could probably talk about one more card, or you got to go, Bill?
I got to go, and also I don't know if there is anything else that I really want to talk about.
If we miss it today, chat will cover it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll do another one of these tomorrow. I don't know when yet. It depends on when people are available. But yeah, if we miss it today, we'll talk about it tomorrow because we all have to get back to what we were doing before we started this. So
to work.
Thanks for having me on, friends.
Yeah, thanks for coming on such short notice too,
really
by the way. Yeah, definitely appreciate this, and definitely getting a different spin on it because we don't play a lot of non-EDH formats, so getting the spin on it from limited and standard and whatnot is a nice change.
I'm trying to expand my Magic horizons.
Yeah.
Rather than just playing degenerate, colors and limited, so or in EDH.
Yeah. So everybody in chat, say bye to TappyToeClaws and thank her for joining us for this wonderful set review today.
Thanks, Chad. Y'all have been wonderful.
Catch you next time, all 96 of you. Oh, we're sitting at the old Grumpy 69 right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I'm probably gonna go jump off, and I think it's the day where you can make any deck in Arena right now. And I saw some really dumb combo decks, even in like Standard, and I'm gonna try to play them. Probably pilot them very badly.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll ask Tabby. Tabby, do you have anybody that you want us to raid right now?
Let me see. Is anybody online? It looks like Connor from Spice 8 Rack is online.
Oh yeah, I'm into it.
Of all the lore, why don't we go raid Connor?
Oh yeah, we were just talking about lore, so yeah, I'm super into it.
Plus, he's raising a bunch of money for I don't remember exactly what the name of the charity is, but they build like micro homes for the homeless in his local like Bristol community in England.
Oh, so cool.
He's obviously doing some really good work. I think he's trying to do like a 24-hour stream right now too. So he might,
okay, he'll appreciate
use the cheers.
Yeah. Okay. So, chat, if you've never joined us for a raid before, we want to spread some positivity in the Magic world. So, once we get into Connor's stream, make sure you pay him a compliment, say something nice to or about him, and show him just how great the Spike Feeders community is. Okay. So, we're going to start the raid. Definitely hop on and say hi to Spice 8 Rack for us. And thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Yay!
See you later, guys.
This is really fun.